So hello. There's an interview that Todd Bolly has actually done. I don't know if you've seen it.
I think I did as well. Was he talking about how he doesn't want to comment on the relationship between him and Clear Lake?
Yeah. I actually wanted to play that video so that probably we can start from there. I'm looking for it because he has a lot that he has actually said about the club and it's really interesting because you see we already had protests outside the club.
Yeah, the game against Southampton, we were quite a few of us outside.
You were there.
No, I was not there. But like our fans were there, especially the
Wow.
Arsenal sign. That was funny.
Yeah. I like the Arsenal side. I like the Arsenal side. It's good to throw jabs at them whichever time you can get. But you can
Exactly.
see it is the truth because Arsenal are also going another season trophyless.
Yeah, I mean, for all their work, and they keep saying they're in their golden generation, they have yet to win anything.
Yeah, so even when you look at, I think the title race is concluded. I just think the
Oh
title
yeah,
race is
what
concluded.
title race, bro?
If Liverpool win the next 5 games, it's over. So there's nothing Arsenal can do.
Yeah, this is another trophyless season, unless they win the Champions League, which I don't think they will.
They're not going to win the. I think Real Madrid are going to win the Champions League again.
Probably. It's in their DNA to do it.
Yeah, unless there's a team that is able to get them out, probably in the quarters or semi-final. But once they're in the final, they're going to beat even Liverpool to that Champions League.
Yeah, the quality in that attack on their day is just absolutely unstoppable.
And also the Real Madrid aura. They have that thing
Yeah,
of
they
winning
have
the.
some dark
Um,
magic.
yeah, I think because because they have won a lot of Champions League, the pressure on them is usually very low during finals. Unlike other clubs who find the Champions League as everything, Real Madrid find it as just something that is common. So they just play when they are relaxed. There's zero pressure, and that's why they always win. I think that's the reason why. Some of them have won four, some of them have won five. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like
true.
Manchester City going for the league. They have zero pressure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you look at Madrid, you just wonder how they've done that. I mean, they have what, 15 Champions Leagues? At this point, I've lost count.
Yeah, they're 15. Probably adding number 16 this season.
Jesus. Yeah, hopefully we'll be there next year as well.
Yeah, that's what we actually have to talk about. So, let me ask you about the game. How did you find the game?
To be honest, I was kind of disappointed we didn't go for more, but I kind of get it. We don't want to, like, force players to rush completely to protect their fitness. I think a lot of people gave Enzo a lot of credit that game. They said he was man of the match. I personally think Cucurella was our best player. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think he was up and down the field, and that finish, I was like, wow, I wish Jackson could do that. That was a great finish. There
But
were a few disappointments, like Palmer. Like we have to talk about that.
yeah, we really have to talk about Palma. But one thing I can probably say about the game is that the scoreline does not reflect the
The
game because
performance.
I think we should. I think looking at the game, we should have scored 7 goals minimum. Seven. There is the easy tapping that Enzo misses at the far post. There is the three one-on-one chances that Palmer misses. But I was shocked. I just knew Palmer used to bury these things.
Someone wrote that Palmer woke up with Jackson's feet, bro. Nah, I
Yeah,
mean, he was our star, man, and I don't know what's got into him. And the first thing I just thought to myself is, if we had João Felix, that would take a lot of pressure off him. I think Maresca should be held accountable for that. But also Nkunku, I was surprised. He did his thing. He played well. Set up the second
actually,
goal.
no, it's called the first goal.
Yeah, and he scored the first one.
Yeah, so
And
especially during that time when we were looking for the first goal, we had actually missed three clear chances. Now, in my head, I was asking myself, is this going to be like other? Is this coming?
yeah,
Is it another Ipswich game? Are we going to miss all these chances and then concede one and then they sit back? So I was really skeptical in this game. So the minute Nkunku scored that header, I was relieved because now I knew that we just need to add another goal and the game is off. Because I think we are not so secure with one goal, and we need
yeah,
to add a second goal so that we can be more secure.
which is worrying because that says a lot about our defense, to be honest. But we kept a clean sheet, and you know what? I think another player that deserves a shout out is also Jorgensen. He was
Yeah,
excellent with his feet, and I don't
and
get why
also
the
the
fans
save
are
he made.
complaining.
There's also a save he made, a certain goal
Oh
save.
yeah,
You
but
remember
he,
it?
yeah, but then that was, I think he did too much there. He looked like an easy save.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think if probably it's Sanchez, I think he claims that ball.
Yeah, maybe.
Sanchez is a better shot stopper than him.
Is he? Actually, yeah, he just gives away too many mistakes.
Yeah, the problem with Sanchez is having the ball at his feet, and sometimes he has that bozo moment when he's not able to actually sweep well. He doesn't know how to read his lines, whether he should step out to sweep or not.
Like against City. We'll never
Yeah,
forget that.
yeah. City epitomized Sanchez. Now he had some good saves. He made that silly blunder for the second goal. Then he also had some bozo moments when passing the ball.
But that's why we need Jorgensen instead. You'd rather have a keeper that's like reliable than someone that can either win you or lose you games because there's always 50-50 chances.
And that was actually the fourth clean sheet we kept this season. The fourth clean sheet. That says a
Jesus.
lot. Even Manchester United, with how poor they are, they have more clean sheets than Chelsea. More clean sheets than Chelsea. I think we really need like around a minimum of 10 clean sheets per season. 10.
Yeah, genuinely. And the thing is, like, it's not even like people say our defense has been bad, but I don't know. A lot of those came from Sanchez, I can't lie.
Yeah, because I've also seen that we've just conceded 33 goals. Last season, I think we conceded close to 55 goals and scored
Really?
77. Yeah, we conceded a lot of goals last season.
Who was our keeper last year? Sanchez. Then Petrovic came later.
But again, I remember that even if we don't talk about Sanchez, I think last season there was also the element of the way Pochettino's tactics were.
Yeah, he left Caicedo isolated all the time in midfield.
Yeah, I actually want to just pull up that statistics. Yeah, we scored seven. Sorry, we conceded 63 goals. We scored
Wow,
77 goals and conceded 63 goals.
that is way too many.
Yeah, and we had we had a goal difference of 14. This season we have scored 52, we have conceded 36 so far, and we have a goal difference of 16.
Oh, okay. I think it looks better than last year so far.
Yeah, so far it looks better than last year. So if probably we can just reduce the number of goals we concede every match and
Yeah,
have like five more clean sheets, I think we can concede up to around 45 goals this season. But if we can match our scoring to around 75, then we will probably be in the top four.
easily. I mean, we're in the top. Oh no, we're not in the top four right now because City won. But we're
Yeah.
like 1 point behind Forest, I think.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I think the Aston Villa game, we actually just lost that game on purpose. When you look at the goals, those are goals that you shouldn't have conceded. You just see there's some laxity and ball watching in the team. Nobody's actually looking at their man.
Like the first goal for Rashford for Asensio Gusto
Yeah,
at that touch.
I thought the entire defense was asleep, and then you saw Colwell making that look, thinking that it's an offside. What are you doing every time? The
Gusto
goal,
got a lot of heat for
the
that
goal
game.
was actually scored in the far post area, the left side, and Colwell is the defender there.
I I think they tried to play the offside trap. I don't remember who played him onside though. I think it was Enzo who played Rashford onside because there was just one person. But again, people really, really like hated on Gusto for that game, like quite a lot. They said he was poor. They said he's not the same player. But against Aston Villa, I think he did well. He did decently.
So there's probably something because I always find that when you're already defending in the box, the last thing you need is to focus on the offside trap. You need to get the ball away from the goal.
I think, yeah, but I think at that point, right, it already went behind the defense, so there wasn't nothing they can do. And again, I think the best teams in the world do implement those tactics. You look at Man City, you look at Arsenal, Liverpool. We're trying to do that, but I think because of maybe it's a new team, they're still gelling, and there's so many young players. This is just a systematic issue which will go with time.
But
But
we always say it's a young team, and Enzo Fernandez has been in Chelsea since 2023.
he has been, but then he's been under three or four different managers. That doesn't give you time to gel. That's why I feel like past this season, if Maresca does get top four, that's good for him. That's good for us. But after that, we need to at least win a trophy next year, like an FA
We
Cup or
need to
something.
win a trophy this year. We need to win the Conference League.
There is no way we don't win the Conference League. If we don't, Maresca, I don't know what to say, man. Genuinely,
Yeah, we need to win the Conference League.
we will, bro. There's no way we don't. Like I don't even watch Conference League, and I still know that we're gonna win these games.
But we have Copenhagen. We actually, in my opinion, we need to win that because it will actually even take pressure from the board because there is a lot of pressure. There is a lot of pressure. Like the fans have had enough.
Yeah, as they should, because in January we got no one. We sent João Felix on loan for whatever reason. Jackson's out, Gu is out. We're forced to play Neto as a nine. I mean, he's doing well, but this is not what we expected. And now we heard quotes of Maresca coming out and saying he wasn't told to get top four, and then he comes and says, "I want to get top four." And this is not the club we know. The club we know is used to winning, and when they take that identity away, they're always going to have like backlash.
But I think Maresca made a silly comment about the top. I don't know why he always likes to answer these questions towards the media. You see, the mentality, the energy that you give out is what is reflective in the team. Whenever he kept on saying, Chelsea are not in the title race, Chelsea are not in the title race, that made the players actually believe it. And, when you say that, when you say something a lot, there is a way that you can actually change you can actually affect the outcome of something. It's like just having that negative thought, then you just find everything that you're doing is just not going onto plan. Because I think if he was a better manager, he could probably have said, yes, at the moment we are currently second. It's a good position to be in. I didn't expect this, but we'll be looking to win our games, and then we probably see where we will be towards the end of the season. When you say something like that, you see you've not ruled that out, because even Arsenal went into a title race when nobody expected them. I don't think anybody expected Arsenal to be in a title race in 22-23 season.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you think about our previous managers like Tuchel, when he came, he said he wants to make a team that everyone will be scared to play against. And then what happened? We won the Champions League. I do think mentality is a very underrated aspect of football because, again, if the players have the mentality that we're not in the top four, they're going to maybe not on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, take it easily because they understand this is not the target. But like, if we try to go for the title, okay, we might not get there, but at least we won't be struggling for top four because we're trying so much harder, you know?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree with you because if I believe Maresca wasn't saying that, I think probably we would have. Because looking at our first leg form, we should have sealed top four by now. By March week 30, should have already known that we are playing in the Champions League next season. I believe we would have gotten 80 points easily. But again, it all comes down to the manager. It all comes down to what the manager says to the team. Because even when you look at Mourinho, when he came to Chelsea the first season, when he was saying, I believe I'm special. I believe that I'm the
Yeah,
special one. I'm coming to win. The only thing that I do is win titles. And then he went ahead and won the Carling Cup. Then he was asked about pressure. Then he said, no pressure. Sir Alex Ferguson is the only manager who's won the European Cup here. So what kind of pressure? You know, that energy that the manager gives. You see, even
Yeah.
Peter Cech, you could hear what Peter Cech was saying when he came in there. You could just feel there is that aura when he walks into the dressing room. And Mourinho was young. A lot of those players were old.
Yeah. He came from Porto as well.
Yeah, but he came with that energy. So if Maresca was being asked, Chelsea are in a title race, Chelsea in a title race, the thing he would have said is that, yeah, I find that we are ahead of schedule, we are in a very nice position, and we'll really try to win our games so that we can see what will happen. Because even if Tuchel was in that position, I am 100% sure that is what he would have said. He wouldn't
Yeah,
care to say that this team I have just found it within a year. He would say, yeah, we will try to go toe to toe with them and see. That is what you say, so that the
exactly.
players can have that mentality. Because the minute you tell players that we are ahead of schedule, we are not in a title race, you see, they start thinking that even players themselves feel inferior when they are playing against these other teams.
Yeah, because you've basically given them the mentality that they're a fourth place team or a fifth place team instead of a second or a first place team. I think you can even see it in the performances against Villa. You're like, this is not the Chelsea I know anymore.
Yeah, and you could even see the drop in form, because after we drew nil-nil to Everton, you saw the players were
Yeah.
shattered. But Maresca uh, will not could not actually build that thing from the players, because I also find that this is where Maresca's inexperience is actually getting exposed.
Yeah, it looks like people say his tactics are bad. I don't agree. I think his tactics are great. I think even the
Yeah,
idea
the
of getting
tactics.
Pedro Neto as a nine was incredible. I didn't see that coming. But I think his man management is very questionable. It took him so long to change the goalie, even the mentality he instills. And when we say stuff like, "Oh, Maresca is saying this about top four," I think he's a pawn. I think the board are telling him what to say in the press. That's why he's so back and forth. And
But
I feel like he's being a bit shunned out. Yeah,
but let me ask you, don't you think the board will be happy if Chelsea won the Premier League? They will be happy because they will make more money.
they would be,
The overall value of the players they've bought will actually
go up.
increase.
Yeah, it would go up, but then I don't know. The board doesn't look like they're that concerned about our domestic success or us winning trophies. It looks like they have a plan, and no matter what happens, they want to stick to that plan and don't want to change it, which is a problem.
But if we win something, you get more sponsorship. If you're in the Champions League, you get more money. You see, at the end of the day, their main aim is to make money. But if you win a Premier League title, you make more money. First of all, you just make more money based on the position you are in on the table. You get that Champions League spot, the value of your assets, because according to them, they see the players as their assets. So everybody's value increases, because if you buy Sancho for 19 million, he's now a 50 million player, because you also factor in the English tax there. Then you Cole Palmer now, even now, Cole Palmer is around 120, 100 million player. Jackson's value also increases to probably 70 million. Enzo and Caicedo retain their value in the market. Colwill's value increases probably to 40 to 45 million because of the English tax. Tosti's value increases. Rhys James Gusto's value increases. Cucurella's value increases. So even when you're looking at the market value, the book value of your players, you see, they actually even value players as assets. You know that?
No, I agree with everything you're saying, and that does make sense. I just don't think the board see it that way. I think
Because
in they have like this model, and they are so hell bent that this is the only way to make money. It's why they don't really care. Because if they did like care about winning the Premier League or winning the FA Cup, they would go and hire a manager that can do that, you know? Instead, they just got rid of the one manager that could actually do that for us.
and don't you think that they were actually trying to do that because they wanted to make sweeping changes when they took the club. But the question is, if probably somebody else bought Manchester City and he found Pep, you'll be crazy if you are sacking Pep.
Exactly.
So
And
why? But again, that justifies your point, because how did they sack a manager who won the Champions League?
exactly. He had bad form for sure, but this was the same manager that finished third next year in the league with Klopp's Liverpool and Pep's Man City. And we were top for quite some time. We just dropped off
And
form.
we dropped up form when we lost Chilwell and Reece James. Then we
Exactly.
now had
So
to rely on Aspilicueta and Marcos Alonso as wing backs.
not
That
even
was never
Marcos
going.
Alonso. It was Loftus Cheek at some points.
Yeah, so that was not going to work anyway.
I mean, you see, if the board they pump so much money into players, if they had just stuck with Tuchel and said we're gonna get you one good right wing back and one good left wing back when these two get injured, who knows where we would have been? It's
I
crazy
think
to
Tuchel,
think he won the Champions League with Mount, Werner, and Havertz. Like, think about it, man.
yeah, probably if he had Palmer, if he had a player like Palmer, if
Oh
he
my
had a
God,
striker like
yeah.
Jackson, sometimes even yes, we say Jackson misses a lot, but I will take Jackson any day over Timo Werner, any day over Timo Werner. If probably Jackson played that final, we probably win, probably with 2-0 or 3-0. The
Jackson,
Champions League final, we win 2-0 or 3-0 if we play with Jackson, because he easily finishes the chat. Werner wasted a lot of chances in that final. Oh my God, if we lost that final.
I remember, oh my God. And the thing is, like, Jackson isn't bad. He's just bad at finishing. That's our issue.
But earlier on in the season, his finishing was great.
I know. I think he just got tired from playing every game. You can even see in his technique slowly going away. Because, bro, he's like 23. He's playing 90 minutes all the time. He's gonna get burnt out. And last year he was playing on the potch, and he presses so much. He has to be managed better, in my opinion.
But in my opinion, I don't think our players play a lot. Do you think our players play a lot than Manchester City, Arsenal, and Aston Villa players together with Liverpool? No. Liverpool, in fact, they are way worse. Liverpool have their first team, and that's their first team in the Champions League, and it's their first team in the Premier League. As we can field another team in the Conference League. I don't think this notion that our players are playing a lot. I don't buy it. I
Mm.
don't buy it. We don't play Caicedo thrice a week. Liverpool have to play McAllister like that. Virgil van
Yeah,
Dijk plays like that. Trent plays like that. Salah plays like that.
we can say that, but the issue
And they
comes
are older. They are older also.
they are older, which is the point, right? Because these players are young, they're going to be more hungry, they're gonna put in more effort, they're gonna get more tired. Because you just look at Jackson, there's not many strikers you see who press the way Jackson does. And by the time it's 70 minutes, he's already gassed out. Caicedo, I don't think there's a lot of midfielders who eat ground the way he does. He has the most tackles in the Premier League this year. And
He has the
with
most
our
ground. He's actually when you look at his statistics, he's probably the best defensive midfielder in Europe. And his
wow,
overall contribution in the team is going to be watered down because the team has not performed well. And I think he's the player of the season. A lot of people will lean towards Palmer, but I would lean towards
nah,
Caicedo.
I would not say it's Palmer. I would also say it's Caicedo. In fact, I think Cucurella is more of a shout this year than Palmer.
Yeah, yeah, even Cucurella is way better than Palmer.
But yeah, I think man management again, right? Like for example, when we say teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, but then you remember that these managers actually make substitutions. Our manager doesn't. So the same players are playing constant 90s at full pace because they're chasing games now because they don't know how to man manage because they're young and there's no experience. Liverpool have a mix. When they go ahead, they know how to manage the game. They know how to slow it down, control the tempo. They play fast-paced football, but they're very controlled. I think that's why they're better this year. Same with Arsenal to an extent. And Arsenal have a lot of injuries, but their players are experienced as well. I don't know. I just feel like with us, it's maybe more of a man management problem. Make more substitutions, you know, actually play different players sometimes before they get dead. And yeah,
Yeah, and I'm really finding it because, yes, if we do understand that we need to have a striker who comes on to add the energy into the team, because remember, the reason why we concede a lot of goals towards the latter end of of the games, because even in the Aston Villa game, we controlled the game. We controlled the game for a long time.
Yeah, but we couldn't create anything.
I'm saying
Well,
the Aston Villa game, we controlled
yeah.
the game for a long time. In fact, even Palmer squandered an opportunity because if he probably scores that, probably
Oh
would have been.
yeah.
You see, so one thing that I've realized and Maresca doesn't want to work on is the defense. And you build the team from the defense. Because remember, even Arsenal in that 22-23 season, where they had a makeshift title charge because nobody expected Arsenal to be in the title race. Arsenal hadn't even finished in the top four the previous
Yeah, they were
season.
fifth last year.
So there's one thing that I noticed that Mikel Arteta went to do. He added experience, then he added physicality. So I think Saliba came back that season, and
Yeah.
Saliba got injured, and then their season fell off. But he went ahead and brought Rice. He went ahead and brought height and physicality into the team.
Yeah. Now that's all they're known for.
Yeah, but the problem with Arsenal is that Arsenal did not get a striker because I believe if Arsenal were a serious club in the summer, they would have paid everything to get Isak. They would
Yeah,
have paid
genuinely.
or Ollie Watkins. And if they got one of them, I don't think Liverpool would have won the league this season because I've
Oh,
watched Arsenal
definitely.
games. The only thing they lack is the striker. They have a better defense. They have just conceded 23 goals this season.
I think Arsenal's problem is they're too toothless in attack. Even Odegaard this year has been off.
But you cannot rely on Odegaard to be the one who finishes. You need a
He-
striker, and of course, we knew Havertz.
oh my
He
God,
used to score
yeah.
once or twice, but we know Havertz. He's not
Havertz.
he's not that number nine that you need on the team.
Havertz, I think, creates more problems for any team in the world, unless you're like Leverkusen or Madrid. Then he actually creates solutions because you have no idea where he actually plays.
But I think in that number nine position, that false nine position, he plays better. But when you play, I think Havertz can play well because I also know he gives a lot when it comes to pressing. If he plays probably with the way Klopp used to play with Mane and Salah, where the wingers are actually the ones who are acting as inside forwards and they're the ones who are
Yeah,
scoring a lot of goals. If you play him in that Firmino role, he will play very well. But at Arsenal,
yeah,
you
it's more
find the
technical.
wingers actually stay wide. If probably
Yeah,
Ateta had allowed Saka and Trossard to play as inside forwards and then have overlapping fullbacks, then Havertz can work because he has inside forwards who are able to score. But like for example, if you bring him at Chelsea now, where you have Palmer and then you play him in a back three, you play a back three and then you have Nkunku and Palmer in behind him. He can actually perform.
he could, but I don't know. I feel like Havertz's best position was always as a second striker. Like at Leverkusen, that was his position. I think like behind someone physical, for example, like let's say if we had someone like Osimhen and we had
Yeah.
Havertz behind him, he would do really well. Arriving late in the box, just poacher. But even his finishing has become so bad.
It's not, yeah, his finishing is also bad. Sometimes I wonder how did he score the Champions League final
Oh
goal.
my
He's so
God.
awful.
I remember that game when he took it around Ederson. Even then, I wasn't confident he's scoring. I was just praying.
Wow. So there's actually, and what do you take about the rumors on the lap?
I don't know how to feel about that because I feel like Delap is a great player and I really like him. And I do think he would add value to the team if he came. He would take some pressure off Jackson. My only question with this is this the player that will take us to the Champions League or the player that makes us start to compete for the league? Because I love him. I think he's a great player. And I think it would be great for the team, but I don't know if it takes us to where we want to be, if you get me.
In my opinion, I would think he will actually work because one thing is that you've actually even said it here is that the Jackson can get that relief because you see, even the lap is a pressing machine. He's a player
Yeah,
who can just run. So, first of all, he's very hungry. He can run a lot. So, you can actually. make that early substitution. You can do that 60-minute substitution. Then you take off Jackson, you put in Delap, or you take off Delap, you put in Jackson. And what you get is that you get two fresh strikers. So your pressing still maintains. But again, even when you're looking at game management, I also find it weird that we don't like to play tossing. I
Okay.
always find that weird from Maresca. Because
Yeah.
even when you look at the Aston Villa game, I don't think it was probably Tosin's fault. In fact, the second goal, that's a goal that even that clown Sanchez will save it. The second goal, that's a goal that even Sanchez will save. In my opinion, that game, the worst should have ended was a draw.
Yeah, I do feel that way. But then Villa were controlling a lot of the second half. We were finding it hard to maintain. Because
But
the thing is, they changed. They were playing with two inside forwards, and then they saw that they were getting marked. So then they brought on two wide wingers, and that changed the game completely.
but you see, Unai Emery understood how to deal with the back three. See, when you're playing with the back three, we are playing with the wing backs. There's one thing that opponents need to know is that you're always underloaded in the wide areas.
Yeah,
Always underloaded. When you're playing with the back four, you have two wingers and the fullback covering the wide area. So you have two players.
exactly.
That's why Arsene Wenger was saying that the best defensive formation is the 4-4-2
Oh
because you are
yeah,
able to
definitely.
have, yeah, it's the best formation without the ball because you have six players in the middle and then you have two players on the wide areas who are able to defend. So that means that you have covered 60% of the pitch and then you have covered 20% on either side. So it's actually the best defensive formation. That's why you also see Guardiola just uses that.
Yeah, and I think the problem with us is I don't think we use that formation in defense. Genuinely, I don't know what formation we use.
We use a makeshift 4-4-2, but there's something that I have to say. I've watched the goals that Chelsea concede.
Yeah,
You always find it's a player who's not marking his marker. Like for example, if a cross is coming from the wide area, you'll find a winger has just watched the like for example, Sancho misses his man. Let me just use a perfect example of the FA Cup. Sancho misses his man. He just ball watches the way the opponent just
yeah,
carries the ball and makes that cross. And that player is Sancho's player because the fullback is looking at the winger. He's the one who's supposed to cover the fullback if the fullback
yeah,
is advancing, but he's watching. Then we concede the goal. And even when you look at that Rashford pass, who was playing in that right wing position? Probably Gusto should have stretched out and Rhys James played like more like a fullback. So
yeah,
it's always one player who misses their marker. And even Noni Madueke does that. You could see in the Manchester City game. We just watched Vardiol make that run.
yeah. That's true.
So it's just about the players. I don't think it's about the structure. It's about the players because if Noni Madueke goes with Vardiol, then he puts a lot of pressure on him. Vardiol doesn't score that goal.
So you think it's more of a mentality thing with the players?
Yeah, and that's where you need an experienced manager. But again, I always say this: players can also respect a manager based on what the manager has won. And that is,
Yeah,
I think that is something that gave Chelsea the edge. Because do you think if Thomas Tuchel is in the dressing room and he's tearing you down, you can't say anything. He's a Champions League winner. He's won the
yeah.
Bundesliga. He's won the Liga. He has won a lot of trophies. You see, when he dresses you down, you're like, okay, this manager. Like if Madueke does that and Pep Guardiola calls him to the touchline and dresses him down, he will not argue with Pep because Pep has won. You're
Yeah,
also
you can't
going
say anything.
you're going to see the influence that Slot is going to have once he wins a trophy. You're going to see it at Liverpool.
But then you see,
Probably can,
that's the argument you can make. Like Slot hasn't won anything crazy, but he's still going to win, arguably maybe even a treble.
but you see with Slot is that he's not going to win the treble. They're out of the FA Cup.
Carabao Cup.
That doesn't count as a treble.
We would say it if we wanted to come on.
Yeah, we probably will say it. But I think with Slot is more carried by the experience in that team. With Klopp's play was high intensity football, constant pressing, but with Slot he has reduced that pressing. So he has introduced that level of control in game. So Liverpool now have that control. So they do not spend a lot of energy pressing. I think that is what he changed. He just changed that. And then the players are all of them are experienced. And even when you look at the average age of players who are winning the Premier League, it's around 27, 28 there,
Oh
thereabouts.
wow,
That's why even
really?
Arsenal struggled to win it.
I didn't know the average age was that old. I thought it'd be like 25 or
No, no,
26.
no, 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 no. Look at Manchester City. You have players like KDB, Bernardo Silva, all of them in their 30s. Even Rodri is around
Yeah,
29. Kyle Walker was in their 30s. They are old. A majority of them are older. Even when Ruben Diaz was coming in when he was younger, you had Aguero there.
yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, so maybe we need experience in the team, but the thing is, all of our players are children,
But
literally.
in midfield, I don't think we need an experienced player.
Yeah, we have a World Cup winner there. We have Enzo.
Yeah,
Caicedo's been there
but
long enough.
again, the players are gaining experience as they play, so they will improve every season. Every
It's
season they will improve.
it's crucial
Like,
they win a trophy though, so they get that winning mentality instilled. Otherwise, you end
yeah,
up like Arsenal.
yeah. But the question is, again, I do not, in my opinion, I do not understand why Rhys James was made captain.
The
Probably not there. And I heard Obi Mikel saying this. He's not. He doesn't give that captain vibes. Like, can he sit Enzo Fernandez and tell Enzo that you are doing this wrong? You're doing this. Enzo is more likely to be the player who sits everyone and
yeah,
tells them.
exactly. I think as a captain, you need to have someone that's like a balance. Like he knows when he has to speak up and he knows when he has to cool down. Like I think a great example of this was Puyol as well at Barca. He would know how when to tell his players to chill, when to like actually, get aggressive. And when you look at Chelsea, it's hard to find anyone like that. Even Tosin, our oldest player, I don't know if he's captain material to be honest. So I
But
remember,
he,
yeah,
yeah, you can finish.
no, but I remember Mikel saying that we lack leaders. I think that's very obvious because we had Terry before, we had Lampard, we had hell. You could even argue if Hazard not really. I don't think Hazard's captain material, but there's just no one with that mentality. They're either too hot-headed or too tame. Like there's no one with that balance in between to take that leadership role.
But you see, to be a leader, you need two things. You can either lead by the way you move and conduct yourself, and the way you speak. Because one person is Aspilicueta. Aspilicueta was not the most vocal captain. You will not see him dressing down players or being strict on the pitch like Jordan Henderson. Henderson, you could see it when he was in Liverpool. He would even call out Firmino and Mane in the team. You could see it. You could see he has that captain's all.
Yeah.
Now, Aspilicueta was not like that, but with Aspilicueta, he was always available, and whenever he was on the pitch, he was giving 100%. I remember those last-minute tackles that he used to make, those blocks. Remember the Aspilicueta blocks? You could see them.
Yeah,
Like he
and
was
1v1, he was a
so
nightmare to get past, man.
he was so immense. Aspi was so immense. Now, with Rhys James, he's not available. Yes, he has the
Exactly.
skills, but he's also very quiet.
Yeah, he's very, very quiet.
Because if Rhys James had the fitness to play the entire season and nail down that right back position, because you could also see the last game he was benched. Probably was it? Did he have an injury problem, or did Maresca rewatch the Aston Villa game and actually found him to have fault so that he rested him? See, you cannot get it. But you see, with Aspilicueta, he was always available. And whenever the team sheet comes out, you are 100% sure that Aspilicueta is starting in that right back position.
Exactly. And I think there was even a statistic whereby, like, I think for 2 or 3 years straight, he was our most played player for minutes.
Yeah, he was always. I think he even we actually said that Aspilicueta doesn't get it. He went 3 seasons without getting a single injury, without missing a
Yeah, that
game.
is wild. That is so wild. I think that's why his decline was so bad when he became bad.
Yeah, but he was really good. He was really good. As Piliqueta was really good. Yes, but he also contributed offensively. I remember he assisted a lot of players. When you check a lot of
Morata.
players' past goals at Chelsea, it's as Piliqueta who assisted them.
Yeah, actually, you know that year when we won the Premier League under Conte, Batshuayi scored against West Brom. It was Azpilicueta who actually did that cross.
Yeah. He also used to make those crosses to Morata,
Yeah,
to
that was
Diego
such a
Costa.
weird duo. I don't know how that even happened. But like the thing is, I feel like if we had to give a captain right now, I think people would hate me for saying this, but I don't think Palmer is that bad of a shout.
Palma.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad of a shout because you see him go talk to the ref time to time. He gets annoyed. He knows how to keep his head cool as well. The on, I think he's the best captain material in our team so far, in my opinion. Yeah, I would say
But
give it to
does
Palmer.
Palma, the question is, does Palma actually speak when he's not with other players? You see, Palma is also some, if you look at him, you can find that he's somehow weird in a way. He's a player who likes just to play football. He comes on the pitch and then he enjoys his football. Then he doesn't care about what you do, what you don't do. He
And
will just get angry when you concede and swear. But I don't think Palma is even the position he plays. We need a captain in central midfield or up front. I think Enzo is good. I think Enzo
I
is
don't
good.
mind Enzo, but Enzo I feel like he's a bit too hot-headed at times. A little bit. Actually, no, he did show leadership that time when
Yes.
Sterling was going to take the penalty. He wasn't even the captain, and he told him, "No, what? Give it to Palmer.
Yeah,
He'll be the one
and
to
he
take."
was younger. And I think the way Enzo conducts himself, he actually demands some kind of respect in that team. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people always look at Enzo from his age, but Enzo is experienced, and then he has been at the club longer than a lot of these players. Probably it's only Rhys James and Chilwell who have been there, and Cucurella who have been there more than him. But Enzo seems to be a player who has been there for a long time, and you can even see him whenever we lose the ball. He's the first one who goes to the referee. He's the first one. He's the most vocal player on the pitch. You
yeah,
always see that.
yeah. I don't mind Enzo actually. Now that you put it that way. Wait, what about Fofana? What do you think of Fofana as captain?
Fofana doesn't talk a lot on the pitch.
Fofana doesn't talk. I swear he's like aggressive.
Fofana also is a support defender. He's not your
Ye-
Saliba who's going to lead that defense. No, 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 that's not him.
Really? Because I was watching a video as to why we became bad, and it showed that once Lavia and Fofana got injured, Chelsea took a significant loss in like players that could actually win the ball. So there was like I remember the guy, it was from 442. I remember the guy, he like used the video analysis and it showed that when we were winning games, Fofana was the one winning the ball a lot, and so was Lavia. You remember when Caicedo used to invert right from right back?
Yeah. And that is true.
Yeah.
Even his recovery pace was helping us, but he was
Yeah.
leading through his skills, not through. You could not see the leadership in him. He was like Gabriel Magales.
Would you want Gabriel as a captain?
Gabriel Magales at Arsenal.
As a captain, do you see him as a captain? Because their captain is Odegaard, who I don't know, man.
Yeah, Odegaard is level-headed.
He's too quiet for a captain, in my opinion.
They probably don't watch Arsenal games. I always find him vocal, but he's a
Really? Okay.
captain. Yeah, he's a captain. He leads the team. I like him. He's a good captain. He's a
Okay.
good captain. He's very vocal by day, even in the dressing room. When you look at Arsenal's Netflix show, Netflix behind the scenes, he's very vocal, by the way.
Okay, then maybe I'm wrong. I
Yeah,
guess.
there's a reason why he's the captain. In Arsenal, there are a lot of captains. And I think Gabriel Magales can actually be a captain. But the problem with him is that he's hot headed also.
Yeah, he's very hot-headed, and he's rough on the pitch. But
Yeah,
yeah.
even in training, he has injured a lot of Arsenal players in training. What you see on the pitch is what happens in training. They are scared of him. Even Trossard said they're scared of training against him.
There's also a clip. I don't know if you saw it when Endrick joined the Brazilian team. He was trying to dribble past Gabriel. He was like 17 or 16.
Yeah.
Gabriel just body pushed him to the floor and took the ball.
I like that defender. And I think Colwell doesn't have that. Colwell is
Yeah,
this
exactly.
polished defender, is this nice defender. That's what I'm saying. Colwell is a good defender, but you can use him the way we used Christensen.
Yeah, I feel like
He needs
he's
a
more of that
Rudiger
role.
around him. He needs a Rudiger
Yeah.
around him. Colwell needs a Rudiger around him. Remember that Christensen was very timid, was very
Yeah.
calm, and then alongside him is now is Rudiger, hothead.
Rudiger was just psychotic, bro. He used to do
Yeah,
weird runs. He used to dribble past players. Even,
he used to make nice tackles. He used to. There's even
yeah.
a time Lampard was benching him. I'm asking myself, what is this guy? This guy doesn't know what he's saying.
You even remember in the
You're
Champions
having
League final when he blocked that shot from Foden?
that was a match-winning tackle. That was a
Exactly.
certain goal. That was a certain goal. And there's this thing. There's this time when Rudiger. Rudiger was also very vocal on the pitch. If
Yeah,
only
Jesus.
we extended that contract. If only we
Ah,
extended that contract.
he
we
would
wouldn't
go.
have to, we wouldn't have to suffer Kolibali. And I think we would have even performed better in the Boli era because we would have had a centre back partnership of Thiago Silva and Rudiger.
And you see, that's another thing. With Christensen and Rudiger, they had Silva. I think that's a very big thing.
And
With those,
actually, after Silva came, is when Rudiger just went from here to here. I
yeah,
think he
genuinely.
learned a lot from Thiago Silva, the way he defends. He learned a
And
lot from Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva, I feel like people might not agree with me, but I started watching football in like 2013. So, in my opinion, he's the best Chelsea centre back I've ever seen.
He's really good. I don't think Terry had the passing accuracy that Silva had.
I didn't get to watch Terry too much. Yeah, but actually, no, I watched him for like 3 years. Yeah, and he didn't have the same calmness Silva gives you, you know, in defense, in
Yeah,
like even with the ball. Like when you see a player 1v1 against Silva, you know they're not getting past Silva at all.
Silva was good. Oh my god, the he was so good.
Yeah,
Silva
I
was
swear.
so good. Even last season, he
Yeah,
left,
and
but
he was like
he was
40.
really good. He was really good.
So who do you think we should get then to complement Cowell? Do you think Fafana
No,
is
it's
that
not a
player?
must that we compliment Colwell. It's not a must to compliment Colwell. He can actually even be out of the team.
Oh wow, okay. You would drop Cowell.
Yeah,
Who would you play instead then?
I would go and get a defender, probably Bastoni from Inter.
But he's like 27, isn't he? I don't
Yeah,
think the board will get him.
but you need an experienced centre back. You see,
They'll
when you
probably.
make that signing, that's a statement that you've given to the fans that you want to win.
Yeah, I would agree with that, definitely. Bastoni is great. Would I don't actually if we went to get
You
Bastoni,
get a defender from Italy. Italy is
yeah,
a Syria is a defensive league. Get a defender. When you're bringing him in, you're not bringing him in just as a player. You're bringing him in so that others can learn under him. Because we
yeah,
cannot rely. We always rely on Colin. Sometimes I always ask myself, like, how do we expect to keep clean sheets yet we rely on Colin? You just see the things that Colin does. He loses the ball, he starts to look at the referee. He gets a slight nudge, he starts looking at the referee. He plays somebody onside, then he starts complaining. You see, he does that. He starts to complain so that his teammates can see that it was not his fault. But when you look at the game, you can see that it is his fault. Yes,
yeah,
when you have the ball, he's probably one of the best defenders you want to be with the ball. When he has the ball
definitely.
at his feet, he's one of the best. But you need that defender who's able to make that last ditch tackle, who's able to head that ball from the far post. You see the kind of last ditch defending that Thiago Silva used to do.
And all top teams have that. Liverpool have two of those. Arsenal have that. City have Diaz and Stones.
Yeah,
We really
we,
lack that.
we really lack that. And if we
But
had a player like Bastoni and Fofana, I think that's a solid defensive partnership.
what about Chalobah? Would you say
I
Chalobah
don't
is
know.
better
I
than
don't know. I
Fofana?
have seen Chalobah. It's not great the way we used to think. Even
Really?
how did he concede that goal against Mitoma? Should have showed Mitoma outside. You are a defender. You know very well that you cannot allow a player to cut in with his strong foot. You don't. You
No,
show
that's
him
true
out.
as well. I feel like
Do you
centre back.
think? Do you
Hmm.
think Silva would have defended that Mitoma situation better?
Oh yeah, definitely,
So,
definitely.
do you think Bastoni would have defended that better?
Yeah, but I don't
Do
disagree
you
with
think?
Bastoni.
Do you think Fofana would have defended that position better?
Oh, I think
He has.
Fofana would have killed Mitoma.
Yeah. So what does that say?
Yeah, that's
And
true as
and
well.
I also saw in the Manchester City game, Chaloba allowed the ball to bounce, and that is always the first instruction that you're given as a defender. Never allow the ball to bounce.
Really? Why? Oh, you mean the pass for Haaland?
Yeah, I'm saying even when the ball is coming aerial, you need to win it before it bounces. Because if it
Oh
bounces, you
yeah,
cannot
yeah. You
control the
don't know where
ball.
he's going.
Yeah. So if you, me, I always play football. So if you play football, you'll understand. If the ball is played aerially, you have to win that ball in the air. Because if it bounces, then it becomes a 50-50. You don't know the direction it's going to take after it has hit the ground. So it is difficult to
Yeah,
control
yeah.
it.
Oh, and actually, yeah, we don't have a lot of defenders that are like brave enough to jump into those headers.
Yeah, I think Tosin is the only player who defends well aerially.
Yeah, maybe we can play Tosin and, but then
Baston,
I don't see the
but
board
Tosin
bringing
is
back
slow.
Bastoni.
Tosin is slow. There is a reason why Maresca doesn't want to play. He's a good defender, by the way. He's a good
He is
defender.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason is Maresca wants to press with an aggressive high line. So, yeah, if you play Tosin with Fofana, it can work because
Fofana is very
Tosin,
fast.
yeah, Fofana is very fast. He can cover in behind. And even you can play him with Bastoni. Bastoni is always plays as a wide centre back. He doesn't play as a central centre back, so he can cover. He's also very fast.
Oh yeah, but I just that's the thing. I don't see the board going and doing that.
But
Like I
if
would be,
they were to do that, if they were to do that and get the lap, if they get the lap
and
and
they'll
we
want a
get
young center back, so we'll have to
and
look at
they
young players.
that's the problem. But if they are serious in adding experience and get Bastoni, that can be good because now we can use Colwell in we
More
can use
playing center back.
Colwell. Not we cannot heavily rely upon Colwell.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
cannot put a lot of pressure on him,
Hmm.
and also he can learn from an experienced centre back. And it's
Definitely.
also good for us as a team.
Yeah, but then if we're being realistic, Bastoni is never going to happen. So we just have to think of young center backs that are like rough. Like
But you see with centre backs, you don't. Then if it is just getting young centre backs, then it's better we remain with the players we have because you cannot. Some things you don't get them when you are young. Even Virgil van Dijk was probably not good. That's why he was playing in Celtic. That's why he was not playing in Europe's top five leagues when he was young.
Oh, I mean, they're getting Gay, right? Like those are the rumors that are flying around that we want Mark Gay back or Tomori.
Gueye has that era. It's not a good defender.
He's
And also
rough.
Tomori is not good with the ball at his feet. You know, people forget that. I watched
Yeah,
I watched Tomori. And then okay, Tomori was young by then and Tomori was fast. Tomori is fast.
and he was rough as well. Very
He
rough.
was rough, but then he was good. But I remember, did he win the champion? No, no, no.
No, I
He
don't think so.
left. He
Yeah, he went
left
to
when
Milan.
Lampard left. But with Tomori, there's a reason why he got sold. He's not good aerially, by the way.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, right? Or six foot
Yeah,
one.
it's not good aerially. And yeah, he's not good with the ball at his feet. So why should you bring him? And then you know very well Maresca is not going to play him because of that.
I I don't want these defenders, but clearly the board do. And it doesn't make sense. These are players we sold. Why are we trying to bring them back?
Yeah, Guehi is not a good defender.
Personally,
Actually, even Chaloba was a better defender at Palace than him.
Like if you think of Schlotterbeck from Dortmund, someone like that, I think that's a great signing. But again, if he's like 26, 27, when the board gets him,
Sometimes
uh,
you also need that experienced centre back, and even the goalkeeper situation can be solved.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. Because now the keeper even has like someone who can lead him from the front.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I will just go with Bastoni. So, do you think we are able to build up from the Southampton performance?
Our next game is against Leicester, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we should be. If we can get 6 points in our last two games, that does a lot of confidence for the team, especially if we beat Copenhagen, because that would be 3 wins on the bounce. And then I
yeah.
think we go to Arsenal, right?
Copenhagen again. We play, we play Leicester, then Copenhagen. Oh, then we go to Arsenal.
I think so, right? Is it Arsenal? Wait, let me just check. Because if we go to Arsenal, at least we're going there with hunger, because now it's a derby, right? And we've won four on the bounce. But
Oh,
then with Chelsea, bro, I don't even trust us against Leicester, you know? I can't
I
lie.
think we are going to beat Leicester.
Yeah, it's Arsenal at the Emirates. Then it's Tottenham home. Then it's Brentford away. And Ipswich home.
I think we will lose away at Arsenal.
Really? I mean, look, if we win against Copenhagen twice and we beat Leicester, I think we stand a chance. Genuinely. You don't think so? You don't think so at all? I don't know, bro. It's a derby. The first game we drew 1-1. I think we could.
I
It's
mean,
the Emirates.
look at how we were playing there when we drew 1-1, and how we are playing now.
We were horrible in that game, though, against Arsenal. We needed Neto to shoot from outside the box to do something. And
Mhm.
if you think about it, if we play Arsenal with Neto running behind that high line, I don't know. It
Saliba
could
and
work.
Gabriel are good defenders, by the way.
Yeah, very good defenders.
Neto is going to meet his match. You know, don't just take Neto's number 9 performance against Southampton. Southampton don't have the best players. You're going to go up against Saliba. He was going just going to read and see where that pass is coming. No, there's a reason why Arsenal has conceded the fewest goals in the league.
Yeah, but they're not. They're second, right? They're second, and they're not that much
The
behind
reason
us.
Arsenal are second is because they don't score a lot of goals.
Yeah, that is their problem, actually.
Not their defense. Not their defense. They will
I mean,
outmuscle us. They will outmuscle us.
that's natural, and they might even control the game over us.
They will also control. They will be at home. They will also score a set piece.
Okay, they on. Okay, wow. So
So
I've just opened.
don't put a lot of hopes in those games against Arsenal. Spurs, I know we are going to beat them. We just beat Spurs. We are going to beat Spurs at home. The next game
Really?
against Tottenham, we are going to win that game.
I don't know about that. I feel like
We
there's
are
only
going
so
to
many games you can win before you lose against a team.
no, we are going to beat Spurs. You wait and see.
Why are you so
Even
sure?
when we conceded 2 goals quick in the first 10 minutes, I knew we were going to win that game.
Oh my god.
I'm not always scared about Tottenham.
Okay, I've just pulled up.
It's that team that you always beat. So I am not scared about it. I've also heard that Tottenham have never beaten us at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the last time. I think it was 2017 or 18, right?
Yeah, and if
When
we
Dele Alli
win,
scored.
and we won that game, it was the battle at the bridge. We won it.
No, no, no. We lost 3-1. It was when Ericsson took that shot and it dipped under Caballero.
And was it at Stamford Bridge or was it at their
Yeah.
home game?
No, it was at the bridge, 17-18 under Conte. We lost
Ah,
3-1.
okay.
Yeah, but still, it's a long time since they did win. It's 8 years now.
They're not going to win. Especially after we win the next 4 games. They're not going to win. They're not going to win that game.
Okay, look, I've pulled up FBref, and this is another thing that surprised me. By expected goal difference, I thought we'd be lower, right? Because our performances look worse.
Mm.
We're actually the third best on expected goal difference. So
Yeah,
our
we've also not. I saw Palmer actually created 4 game. Was supposed to have 4 assists. I saw that on Sky Sports. We should have scored 4 goals in that period,
exactly, and
and we
Arsenal
didn't score. Mm.
Arsenal are second. Okay, they're significantly better, but not by too much. Liverpool are by far gone. They have 36.3. Then it's Arsenal 19.3. Then it's Chelsea 15.2. Then it's Bournemouth 12.7. So like it's very clear that according to statistics, that first, second, third, fourth, there are teams that deserve to be there. Like on the XGD table, for example, Chelsea they're fifth best right now. They're actually third best in the league, and
But
the
we're
difference
supposed to be
between
third best in the league. We are supposed to be number three.
we are and
We are
here's
supposed to
another.
be number three. If we play if we just defended better in that Brighton game and we defend better in that Villa game, we would have been third. Even if we drew both of those games, we would have been third. We have a better
Oh
goal
my God.
difference than Nottingham.
Yeah, but
And
we
I'm
have the
also seeing Nottingham Forest have started to fall off
yeah,
somehow.
we saw that coming though.
Yeah, so they are probably falling off. And I think we just this top four race is quite easy. I don't know why Maresca was even saying that we are not in the top four.
Exactly.
That was crazy saying that because
From
the
10th to
only team
4th,
that I
anyone
can
can
think
get it.
can finish, yes,
Anyone from 10th to 4th can get Champions League.
yeah, and in my opinion, the only team that should finish ahead of us is Manchester City, and we can also finish ahead of them.
I don't think so. Not this year. City aren't good this year.
But I'm saying we can also finish ahead of them.
Easily, yeah. This is our
So
problem though. We have the 11th best defense in the league according to expected goals against. So we're in the bottom half of the table.
yeah, because we are also not quite aggressive when we lose the ball.
Really? I think we're too aggressive. That's the problem.
No, 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 we are not. Just go and check, you will see. We are not.
Damn, okay.
There's a chart that I usually share on my videos. We are very low when it comes to possession, and we are very low when it comes to the aggression without the ball.
So like you're saying, our counter press isn't good enough.
It's not good enough.
I have heard that actually. Someone saying that Chelsea's pressing is very off.
It's very off. It's very off. You have players like Nkunku who just watch. They wait for you to win the ball back, and then they finish. And I don't know what's wrong with Nkunku. He doesn't win the ball. Yeah. Anyway, I've seen that we've already crossed the hour mark.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's your final say? What can you say is that you can conclude? Do you think that Chelsea can build up that momentum?
Yeah, because I think there's winnable fixtures. I think we can beat Copenhagen twice. I think we can beat Leicester. And with 4 wins on the bounce, maybe we can draw against Arsenal. Who knows?
I'm seeing the next win after that will be Spurs. I don't think we're going to beat Arsenal.
We can draw.
Probably the best we can get is a draw, but I just don't see that we are going to beat Arsenal. It's not going to happen.
If we beat Arsenal,
That can be a huge statement. The last time we won there, we won
yeah.
with Tuchel, with
Yeah,
Lukaku,
Reece James. Yeah, I
James.
remember.
It will be beautiful. It will be beautiful to end their dead. It will be beautiful. What if you think they just draw two games and then we beat them and then they're out of that challenge?
Oh my
That
God,
will
yeah.
be beautiful.
That would feel sweet. I can't lie.
That will be good. Is that going to happen? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's possible, but maybe I'm crazy. Let's see.
I would also like to see that, but if Jackson probably played, I think so. But if we have Nkunku as a passenger, he will be bossed in that team. You will see Partey and Rice will boss that defense properly.
You have Caicedo and Enzo.
But they're not as physical as Partey. Enzo is not as physical.
Caicedo.
Caicedo is, but is Enzo physical like Rice?
I don't know.
See,
Enzo.
Arsenal do not score a lot of goals, so we shouldn't allow them. In fact, I didn't even understand how we allowed them to score that goal at the bridge.
How did they score? I completely forgot.
Yeah, even during the Pochettino days, it's Sanchez who did the Bozo error and brought Rice back into the
Oh
game. We were
yeah,
beating them at the bridge.
genuinely. Yeah, we were winning 2-0.
Yeah, if we just allowed ourselves to contain that pressure, Saka was nullified by Kukurea.
Oh yeah, I love seeing Saka go against Kukurea.
Korea knows how to deal with Saka.
You know
So
that's
yeah,
been
yeah,
going on
yeah.
since like
Hopefully we can rely upon them. But yeah,
let's
Fofana. I
see.
saw Fofana was on the bench.
Really?
Yeah, last game.
Why? Okay, that's weird. I don't know why we did that. Who played in his position? Tosin.
Yeah, let me
Huh?
check. Let me check again. Yeah, he was on the bench. He's back.
Oh, you mean like last game? Yeah, last game. Yeah, he's back. I
Yeah, he
thought you
was
meant you didn't
back.
start against
So
Arsenal.
if we play him against Arsenal, we have a chance. If he's back to the pre-injured Fofana, yeah, okay. So we need to
Yeah,
give him one Copenhagen game to actually get his fitness back.
yeah. I'm
But
telling you, we.
if he's there, we don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah, we could draw. We could win. Who knows? We could get absolutely piped. We don't know anything with Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to get. Anyway, yeah, it was nice to have this live stream. We were supposed to have it some couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was great to be here as well.
Yeah, so we can probably do one later sometime.
For sure, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for joining us and see you in the next live stream.
Take care.
Okay, okay. Let's